Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Desi TV USA. I am Tabinda Gul. Let's take a look at a very special report. In Fort Bend County, Texas, Precinct 3, renowned journalist and founder of both digital and print media, Mr. Tariq Nehal Khan, conducted an exclusive educational and informational interview with Justice of the Peace, Precinct 3, Fort Bend County, Judge Sonia Rash. In these insightful conversations, Judge Sonia Rash opened up about her life, daily responsibilities, and the type of cases she handles with nothing currently pending. She also discusses the legal and judicial services she provides, her approach to delivering justice, and how she maintains a strong connections with the community in her consistency. The interview highlights her missions-driven commitment to public service and justice. Tariq Nehal Khan asked multi-dimensional questions to raise awareness within the broader community, making this an in-depth look into the Judge Sonia Rash personality, life, and the values she upholds while serving the community. So let's take you to the interview. Please watch these informative conversations until the end to gain awareness and help educate others about how the system works at the Precinct 3 Justice of the Peace Office under Judge Sonia Rash.
Judge Sonia Rash is coming to her seat. Sonia, Assalamu alaikum. I'd like to welcome you to my TV channel. I'm the pioneer and founder of print and digital media. We have Pakistan Chronicle. I'm pretty sure you have seen it if you're living in in your jurisdiction. So we are a paper for everybody, just not in Texas, but everywhere. In any way, so Sonia, Judge Sonia is the first judge and the only judge of Pakistani American descent.
I am the first and only Pakistani judge for Justice of the Peace Court in
JP,
Texas.
okay. So when you were elected, Sonia?
I was elected in the year it was 2022.
2022. Yeah, because I've seen your campaign. I have seen your campaign right on Southwest Freeway. I mean, I have seen your billboard. I remember at least one of the major billboard was sitting there for like several months. So that was I think on both sides. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was one-sided, and I was really blessed to have somebody donate that to me.
Oh, okay. So I think it was coming
59,
coming from
downtown. Correct.
Right, going towards downtown, right. So going 59 north, right. So Sonia, tell me, this is basically your part as the state of Texas, Fort Bend County JP judge. So share us your experience of travel or your success story. How did you made it so far from a country called Pakistan and a port city, Karachi, and from the Zoroastrian community, Parsi community से आप यहाँ माशाल्लाह Parsi लोग तो mostly जो होते हैं वो they are very successful business people. Tata, Birla, मतलब you name it. बहुत सारे लोगों को मतलब I'm pretty sure a lot of people India and Pakistan knows. Pakistani मतलब Parsi community very successful in business. But of course they are very highly educated also. So give me your success story from the beginning till the end.
Oh, okay. Well, I think for me, a lot of what I've accomplished I couldn't do without my parents and, of course, God. But my parents moved us here, which would be myself and my two older siblings, which are my sister Fiona and my sister Vanessa from Karachi, to America when I was about 3 years old. We moved to Houston, and that is where we resided and we stayed until, of course, I went off to college and came back home. But they sacrificed a lot, like many immigrant families do. They sacrificed a place where they had their own family, their own support system, where they had good jobs to come to America to give their 3 daughters what they believed was a better life.
Right.
And I remember both my parents working very hard. My dad would work sometimes 3 jobs. My mom was a nurse. My dad was an accounting bookkeeper. And my mom, they would take shifts where my mother would work night jobs.
Right.
My dad would work during the day, just so somebody would be at home with us, with the kids.
Right.
So one thing that they've always taught all of us, and especially to me, I believe I take this to heart, is that work hard, do good, be kind, and do what you can for others. And I've always thought that that is something that not only that I wanted to do when I grew up, but that's something that I hopefully carried throughout my life and will always carry throughout my life. I believe that hard work and caring about people is one thing sometimes we forget to do, and sometimes we lose our way. And it takes our parents, it takes a family, it takes the community to remind us that nobody does this alone. We all need people. So how did I get here? Well, I went to high school for performing arts in Houston.
Let me take a short break and then we start again.
Neurological care is a pressing healthcare challenge in Pakistan. That's why Helping Hand USA is building Kind R, a world-class hospital with 130 plus clinics that is set to establish new standards for neurological care in Pakistan. As the first phase nears completion, anticipation is growing for the launch in the second half of 2025. Give zakat and sadaqah through Helping Hand USA today and join this historic endeavor to redefine future healthcare in Pakistan.
Ajay, Sonia, so far we're doing good, mashallah. Or I have, you share your story कि अब मेरा जो second question है, this is basically particularly how you fought this campaign, number one. Number two, how you can guide others. There are several candidates coming from Pakistani American origin. So
I'll start with the first one.
Okay, so
your first question was how I did this.
Okay.
And I believe that's your first question.
Yes, sure.
So I'm going to tell you, no matter what you do in life, it's hard work.
Right.
If you want to accomplish something, you got to work hard for it. You may not always accomplish it the first time or the second time or however long, but if you truly feel passionate about it, you've got to do hard work. For me, it was hard work.
Right.
Not only did I reach out to people and go outside the box, basically, to do uncomfortable things like knocking on doors to people I didn't know, but we did some of those things. We made phone calls. We would go and we would do events and introduce ourselves. And one thing I've learned is that we've got to get outside of our comfort zone and outside of our comfort. A lot of times I see candidates, I see Desi people who are running, and rather than talking to everyone, they've decided just to talk to their people that they feel comfortable with. And quite frankly, as a public official, you represent everyone. You're not just representing Indians, Pakistanis, or whatever it may be. You're representing every single person or constituent.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're representing the entire constituency, no matter regardless of who they are.
Correct. Race, religion,
ethnic
gender,
background,
anything.
religion.
Correct. So the candidates, I feel like any advice I would give to them would be, remember that, and when you go to places, talk to everyone. Don't feel so comfortable or uncomfortable that you don't talk to people you don't even know. Right. So that would be, a little bit of advice to them. My second advice would also be to them, when you're running for office, do it for the right reasons.
Do it for the right. I'm going to just I'll do a follow-up question on the same thing. What you say that don't rule out anybody. Reach every single door, reach every single community, and you want to make sure they know who you are, number one. Number two, at least they cannot say that you didn't ask for my vote. If you ask for the vote, they give it to you. American people are very generous, and frankly speaking, if you approach somebody, what are the chances if I approach you and then I'm a candidate and another 9 never came to you?
Right.
Who are you going to vote for?
The person who
approached.
has approached me, the
Right.
person who I can ask questions to,
Gee.
And I always tell people, though, the public, ask your elected official questions. Pick up the phone. If you've got a question for them or if you've got a concern, you've got to learn as a public to pick up the phone or an email or find a way to get a response if you are not getting the answers to your questions.
Right. I will just add you something. Back long time ago, about 35 years ago or something, we were doing a fundraiser for a congressman. I don't know, it was me, MJ Khan, Zafar Tahir, and Zanjua, a few, Rafi Azib, a few of us. So the guy, just kill him fundraising, I don't remember his name, who it was, or it was a congressman. No, I think it was Chuck Rosenthal. I'm pretty sure you remember Rosenthal.
Right, yeah.
He was a Republican. So he was saying, money matters, but what matters is how many numbers of checks you get. So you get $5 check, you $10 check, you get $25 check.
Absolutely.
So
It helps.
it's just like, I think campaign fund work like sadaqah. When you say sadaqah, I don't know if you remember, but sadaqah, the quality of a sadaqah is not the quantity, not the how much sadaqah you get. How many people, how many times you do sadaqah, like you do sadaqah 3 times a day, you do once a day, you do once a month. So what matters is how many times you do it. So fundraiser, collecting funds is what people really look at it, at your campaign report, how many people contributed to your campaign. Am I right or wrong?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Money matters too.
Money, well, that's what you're talking about, money, right? How many people contribute to the campaign? I can tell you, for me, when I ran, I did not have a big budget. I did not have tons of people contributing, but I did have some, like you said, $5 here, $10 here, and I was very appreciative of anything. I know that the way that I ran my campaign, because as opposed to having the money, I put out the work. So if you don't have the money, you put out the work, you do it. And even if it was just you, like for me, it was just me. So I didn't have a big base to help me, and that was okay. Because I knew, like I said, it's all how you internalize things. I knew that even though I didn't have all the money to run a campaign that has all these billboards, as you say, or all these mailers, I was going to put out the work. Most campaigns on a local level, it comes out of your own pocket.
Right.
Most of the money is coming out of your own pocket as opposed to people who are donating big checks. I'll tell you this, though, I did realize that being a female Desi, I saw there was some disparagements amongst being a female and being a male when it comes to donations. And that's okay. That's okay. It's whatever people feel comfortable with. But I noticed that I would get less funds from a male counterpart than.
Oh, really?
Yes. And these are the same people who may donate to other campaigns, but and it may not have anything to do with being a female. Maybe it was also the race that I was in compared to the race that somebody else was in. But there is definitely a disparity between funds that a female gets and a male gets, at least.
I mean, you think is being a judge, because since you're running for a judge, and people may feel more comfortable giving donation to the male candidate than giving to the female candidate.
Honestly, I hope.
Is it your community or every community?
I don't know. I can't tell you that, because all I can do is speak about what happens in my election or what happened in my election. So I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's every community or just this community, but I can tell you that I certainly hope that we've moved past a point in life where people are judging somebody just because they are a female,
Male or female.
or male, right, or color of their skin or race. And I can tell you that growing up here, that is not something that I've ever been like a part of, for somebody to judge somebody that way.
Okay.
I do feel sometimes, unfortunately, that people who are maybe come here a lot later in life, they put disparities up between people based on where they're from.
Okay. All right, Sonia, let me take a quick break.
You came to this country for a brighter future for you and your loved ones. You've made it this far. Now it's time to become a citizen. With citizenship, you gain the right to vote, access to federal jobs, the ability to keep your family closer, and the freedom to travel with a U.S. passport. These are just a few of the benefits waiting for you when you become eligible. We're here to help you through the process with free resources and personalized guidance. Together, we can make it easier. Get started at becomeacitizentoday.com.
Where we left off, I think you were talking about the campaign funds or how you raise the funds. So, what I would और मैं ये चाहूँगा कि जैसे इलेक्शन की एथिक्स कमीशन होती है ना, इलेक्शन कमीशन को रिपोर्टिंग होती है और बहुत सारी चीज़ें होती है. So many things are running a campaign, fighting a good campaign, raising the funds, getting elected, filing the report.
A lot of work.
Ethics and election commission जो ethics committee होती है उसको. So to have everything transparent. So many candidates are running.
Right.
So what is your advice, Sonia, to the because being elected or getting elected, then after that maintaining that position. Allah Ta'ala इज्जत देता आपको. You get on the top of the thing. आप दुनिया में बिल्कुल टॉप पे चले जाते हो. वहाँ से फिर इज्जत को संभाल के रखना. You need to maintain your respect and
your honesty. You need
honesty.
to maintain your respect, your honesty, and transparency is very important in
Right.
every
As I told you,
election.
as I told you, हमारा जो मीडिया है, my media, Pakistan Chronicle, Pakistan Journal, South Asian Chronicle, Desi TV, USA. Our main objective is awareness, education, honesty, ownership, character building, patriotism. You need to be patriotic to your motherland. At the same time, you need to be patriotic to your motherland and your adopted land. You become more responsible when you're adopting the land because that is your home. You left your home. So you take care back home, but you take care here also. So on that account, I'm pretty sure you adopted a good procedure, which you can share with others who are newcomers. So please.
The procedure for what?
I mean, maintaining election funds and
okay.
getting funds and reporting
getting,
them, cutting expense checks.
So this is
the whole 9 yards.
Okay, so this is not something that is brand new to people. Well,
Okay.
or even when you run for the first time, everything that any elected official does this way, everything that every elected official does, we have rules and we have guidelines. You've got to read the rules, you've got to read the guidelines. If you are confused, I tell people, if you're confused, call the board up, call the ethics board up, find out what does this exactly mean? What do I have to report? What do I not have to report? They're very helpful. I mean, the board's very helpful. So when you say maintaining your financial records, you maintain a financial record just like you would for any, like if it was a business, right? You would have to maintain that. At least, again, I can only speak for myself. I feel that everything needs to be, for the most part, documented. When it comes to money, I tell everyone, don't play around with it. And whatever you do, don't play around with someone else's money. You know, it's different if things are, you know, it's your money from your own paycheck than it is if somebody's donating campaign funds for you. Not only do you put that in your campaign account, but you spend that money on your campaign and on your campaign needs only. Of course, like I said before, it's not like I have a treasure trove of campaign funds.
Right.
So the majority of anything most of the things that I did, but came out of my own pocket with myself and my husband's financial needs. Yeah.
Right. I think what I heard, okay, once you get the funds, even if you put your own funds into your campaign, you have to be accountable for your own.
Well, now let's talk about this, because I'm sure I know where you're going with this, right?
Okay.
So, as a candidate, as an elected official, you are allowed to make yourself a loan. You can make yourself a loan. You put that loan, but you do have to account for that. You put that on there. Now, if you want to take that loan back at the end or whenever, then again, you've got to make that known that this is the loan. You've got to make sure the loan amount is on your document, and that when you take that loan amount out, you've got to do the same thing. Now, there are plenty of people who make loans to themselves and decide, you know what, I'm never going to make that much money back anyway, so just leave it in there. I don't even want the loan back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to get that money back if you don't want to.
Oh, okay. So the loan goes to your campaign fund. Mm-hmm. You're accountable for every penny, how you spent.
Yes.
But
from that campaign fund.
From the
correct.
campaign fund, whatever you spent.
Whatever you spend.
Right. So
from the campaign fund.
If you got some leftover, you think
you choose to say, okay, well, I made let's just say $100 loan. I mean, I know that's low, but let's just say, for example, you make a $100 loan to yourself, and at the end, and it can be at any time. It doesn't be at the end or beginning. And you have that money in your account now to pay yourself back. You may do that as long as, again, everything is accountable. Okay. But you don't have to.
That's great.
You know,
that's great.
A lot of people.
So let me just take a break.
Neurological care is a pressing healthcare challenge in Pakistan. That's why Helping Hand USA is building Kind R, a world-class hospital with 130 plus clinics that is set to establish new standards for neurological care in Pakistan. As the first phase nears completion, anticipation is growing for the launch in the second half of 2025. Give zakat and sadaqah through Helping Hand USA today and join this historic endeavor to redefine future healthcare in Pakistan.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum Swami Nazreen. One more time, I'm with Judge Sonia Rash. She's from Karachi, Pakistan. She is the first and the only Justice of Peace elected, JP, in the Precinct 3, Fort Bend County, state of Texas. Yes. So we like to welcome Sonia one more time. Sonia, earlier we spoke to you about your upbringing. How did you grow up in Karachi and came here, and all your struggle your parents did. Now, what is my next question? What your constituents expect from Judge Sonia Rash? Explain your role, your duties as a judge.
So what I do as a JP, it's multifaceted. What we do here is we do truancy, and that's for our young people who maybe skip school, who are not going to school and getting their education. We also do evictions. What that means, obviously, as some people may or may not know, is if you're not paying your rent and a landlord needs their money in rent and they come over here, and we do evictions over here. We also do credit card and loans. What that means is we do debts. If someone doesn't pay their debts, they get sued. The biggest thing that we have plenty of is small claims. That is a random of any type of cases you can think of. You have a plaintiff and a defendant. A plaintiff is suing a defendant. The maximum you can get in a Justice of the Peace Court is $20,000. So that would be your damage amount. So we also do handgun licenses. There's a whole list of things that a JP does. We also do criminal cases. The criminal cases we do are Class C misdemeanors. Most of them are only traffic tickets. They're fine only. We don't deal with murders. We don't deal with, any type of assaults and things like that unless it's a Class C misdemeanor. But we do get a lot of cases, and we have a lot of cases, and I've been fortunate enough. We have no backlogs in our court. We picked up a backlog when I got elected,
right.
But we have worked through all of our backlogs, and now we have none. So I'm really proud of that. And I've got a really good team though that helps me out. So
this is amazing. You can be a role model for judiciary system in Pakistan, that they have cases pending in a small court and this court and that court for like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years.
That is a long time.
Even in Supreme Court, they have a lot of cases are pending. So this is all about how you do things. Let's say if Chase sue somebody, so if they are your constituent, so they're gonna file a suit here.
They can file a suit here, yes.
Okay, and then you give them a judgment. The judgment is not exceeding $20,000.
They can't file here unless it's $20,000 or less. And it's not an automatic judgment, right? They have to present their case, present evidence to make sure that these people actually owe this debt.
But what you're saying that the amount cannot exceed $20,000.
Correct.
Less $20,000 or less.
Correct.
Okay. And I know you were involved in arranging marriages or
no, I don't arrange marriages. I perform marriages.
Marriages, right? Or not. Facilitate. You facilitate.
Right.
They become wife and husband.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. So how many marriages are happening like per month or per year?
Boy, I don't know, and it depends on the season too. This is going on my 3.5 years, so I've been very fortunate to be able to be a part of people's lives in order to do that. So I just feel blessed to do that.
So all right, so you're playing an important role when somebody is getting married. So
I certainly hope so, and I hope they think so too. But
so I hope all the people are getting married by you coming to you that you're pronouncing them wife and husband. I hope they stay together.
Yes, me too. I certainly hope so too.
ठीक है. और I think
you were asking, I think, about the community projects and community service.
Right. So my next question to you is, Sonia, I received so many email from you. It comes on my WhatsApp and my telephone, and text message, WhatsApp, and as well as email. That you're doing so many community awareness things, So tell me, how many have you done? And because you are committed to educate community, and you've been doing a very good job. I think you have done on immigration, you have done on healthcare.
I think we've done a lot of we have a booklet out there too that shows you some of the things we've done. Yes, we've done immigration.
Just mention few.
We've done wills. We're actually having one coming up too. We've done that. We've done CPS. We've done blood drives. There's a lot, and I'll tell you why. Because I truly believe that being a public servant means serving the public and giving back. And to me, this is one way that I feel like I can give back to the public. A lot of times people don't have the funds to hire lawyers, so they may have some simple questions. We've done expunctions before, things like that. So being able to provide people with a source that they can ask questions, especially wills. You wouldn't believe how many people over a certain age that have families that still haven't done their wills. And this is a way where they can feel comfortable talking to an attorney. They're all attorneys that I get, about what they can do. And no matter if it's a will, if it's an expunction, if it's CPS involving children, because I think it's important to...
CPS stands for Child Protection Services.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a follow-up question about the bill.
Okay.
Bill is very important.
It absolutely is.
And being a Muslim, or from any, if you file Sharia law,
Okay.
a Muslim must have a will.
Okay.
And that's number one. Number two, in living in this country, you must have a will. And more important, that will has to be probated. A lot of people don't know. It needs to be registered to the court, because just having a will doesn't take you anywhere. Because if you just have a will, it's not been registered in the court.
Well, here's the thing. You don't. It's not a law that you have to have a will, right?
Okay.
And if you don't have a will, it just makes it a little bit more difficult for your family, right?
Right.
But so it's definitely advised that everyone should have a will, especially if you have kids,
Okay.
that you should have a will that says who will take care of your kids. It doesn't need to be elaborate. It can be a simple will. Many people do simple wills because, quite frankly, the majority of people, what they have is a house, their furnishings, they've got some jewelry, they've got some clothes, things like that, simple things, as opposed to multi-billion-dollar properties.
Yeah, millions or billions.
Right. So the majority of people have simple wills.
So help me understand, what you're saying, probating is not important.
No,
or it's it's not required. Let me
It
put it this way.
depends. It depends on the type of will you have. If you may have a will that also has trusts, right? If you have a trust, some trust, then it bypasses a probate. You've already set everything up. When you go to probate, I feel like I'm giving a class
You're doing
on
a
probate.
seminar.
Yeah,
You're doing a seminar. Okay,
well, I'll do it. Thank you. And I apologize for that.
Okay, we can finish up in 2
Okay.
minutes.
Yeah. So when you're doing a will, the will is there to protect literally your family, because the person's gone, obviously, right? If you care about your family, your kids, you're doing that, so there's not so much hassle when the time comes, when things need to be divided, if they're going to be divided. Will it go to probate? If you've got a will, most likely it will go to probate, but it does not necessarily have to go to probate.
Right.
You may have
I'm going to
trust
just ask you a
and things like
simple
that.
question, but I know you got a conference
No
call and
problem.
things coming up, and you have very time short. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
So let's see if somebody have a will, and how much it costs to probate it, register in the court.
That I'm not sure of.
You don't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I don't do wills.
Registration. Okay.
Right.
All right. Next question.
No, but you can, I'm going to tell you this, what you can do when you say register, and I believe this is what you're talking about, you can, Fort Bend has it, I can't tell you if every county has it, you can file it with the county clerk, your will.
That's what I was.
Okay, I think it's only, don't quote me on this, I think it's only $5 or $10.
No, I'm not.
Right, but you register that.
But there's a fee.
Yeah, there is a fee.
It can be anywhere from $5 to $25.
Yes,
that's what I heard.
Something like that. But when you register, why that's a good idea is because the older we get, we may misplace our will.
Right.
We may lose it. And so that's the reason why it's good to have it there.
Sonia, we are having a very important discussion. It's going to benefit a lot of people
I hope
who
so.
don't know it, who are like, even some people know it, they are not doing it.
Yeah.
So we can cut this part and send it to massive more people.
Sure.
Last one, I know you got to go. So last one, how many seminars have you done on immigration? Since immigration has been a bigger problem right now in our community.
I'm going to guess now. I'm going to guess because I said we do so many various seminars, and at least once a year since I've been on the bench, we've done one, I believe. And I think 1, 2, 3. I believe we've done 3 of them. So we do once a year, we'll do one. Because I wish I could do more, but unfortunately, everything we do with the community outreach program, it comes out of my funding, my personal funding, not a campaign funding, not the court stuff, my own paycheck it comes out of. And so I'm limited to how much I can do and the bandwidth and the time frame I have. But throughout the years, I think I've done, when it comes to immigration, about that many, but when it comes to other community projects, I believe we've done maybe 25, 30, and now again, I've only been in office for about 3.5
3.5
years.
years. But I know you've been busy. You've been conducting seminars and educational program. So thank you so much, Sonia. Judge Sonia Rash. One more time, I really want to thank you from Pakistan Chronicle, Desi TV USA, from all our team. What is your message to the community at large, like Muslim American, South Asian American, your constituent? What is your message to the entire community at large, everybody? What is the one good advice you want to give
I
them?
wish I could give more than one, but I guess.
All right, shoot me 3.
Okay, perfect. If I could, I always tell people, follow your dreams and your heart. Do good. Okay. I'm a firm believer if you follow your dreams, and even though it may be hard sometimes, anything is possible. And anything that's worth doing takes a lot of time and effort. The other thing I'd like to tell people, if I could, if they would listen to me, is be kind to other people. Because unfortunately, we don't always know what's going on in somebody else's life. And I feel that it can be a snowball effect. If you are good to somebody, maybe they'll be good to somebody else, and then the other person will be good to somebody else. Always think before you act.
So goodness divide, goodness multiply, not divide, multiply.
Correct. And some people call it pay it forward. Somebody does good for you, do good for somebody else.
All right, Sonia, I know you've been interrupted
apologize
twice. No, you
for that.
had a conference call. So thank you so much one more time, Sonia. Thank you so
I
much.
really appreciate this.
All right.
In the last, don't forget to subscribe to your house channel, like, share, commitment, and follow Desi TV USA on Facebook. So thank you for watching and thank you for supporting. This is me, Tabinda, signing off. Stay tuned for more news. Desi TV USA, DTVNN, and our OTT platform, DTV Flex, where you can access to over 3,000 channels. So stay tuned and stay with us.
You came to this country for a brighter future for you and your loved ones. You've made it this far. Now it's time to become a citizen. With citizenship, you gain the right to vote, access to federal jobs, the ability to keep your family closer, and the freedom to travel with a U.S. passport. These are just a few of the benefits waiting for you when you become eligible. We're here to help you through the process with free resources and personalized guidance. Together, we can make it easier. Get started at becomeacitizentoday.com.